What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Two Dudes and One Album, the show where we discuss one album every single week with your two co-hosts, Sam and Victor. Victor, how are you doing?
Doing good, brother. How are you?
I'm good. Just chilling. This week we will be discussing the Travis Scott debut album, Rodeo. Victor, you can start us off with just overall sort of opinions on it, and then I'll go, and then we can go right into a breakdown of the whole album.
All right. I don't know where to begin with this, man.
Okay, that's not a good sign.
A lot of it just sounds like a worse version of Kanye, I guess. The album's like really psychedelic, which is, I guess, all right. It's not really for me, but I could see if I was like stoned on pills or something.
Even just weed, though, you don't think? Like, why pills? That's so hardcore.
Because I feel like you have to be really fucking stoned. Like,
nah.
For me, it just seems more like I don't know. Maybe I'm being extreme, but maybe like at the very least, like lean, you know? Like, I just feel like you have to be like a proper amount of faded to really appreciate this.
I feel like you smoke a blunt, you put this on, you'll enjoy it a lot.
Right. Well, I don't smoke, so for me, I don't know. I didn't get it.
Yeah, that's fair. You know what? I'll give you that. So, do you have a rating, overall rating, or like overall opinions, other than just like you got to be on drugs?
Yeah. I mean, I rated it like a 4. I didn't.
So
really...
same level as Pop Smoke. You don't think it's any better?
See, I was thinking about that because I know that I rated a Pop Smoke a 4, and honestly, I think I might have been generous to Pop Smoke because this is better than Pop Smoke, but I can't call this album that great.
You don't even think it's a 5?
No.
Oh wow.
No,
So what you're
too
saying
many tracks on here that I just don't feel.
What you're saying is you overrated Pop Smoke. This is
Yep. So if we want to shut on Pop Smoke more, we can go for that, I guess.
This album has affected you so much that you have now downgraded Pop Smoke.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. This is gonna be interesting. I'll go into mine, and then we can just go into the track by track.
Right.
I would say 8.5. The way I would describe Travis Scott is, well, especially in this era, a mixture between Kanye West and Kid Cudi is how I would describe him.
Yeah, I was catching some like ASAP vibes as well.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah, they're kind of from the same era, I would say. So I can definitely understand like why you would make that connection. But as far as his influences go, he's trying to do the whole Kanye West style of rapping and production, especially during the Yeezus time. We'll get into, well, I could talk about it right now. He produced 3 or 4 of the tracks on Yeezus, as well as was kind of like an oversight for the whole album as a producer for Kanye. He also, I don't know if he has producing credits on every track. I know that he works with other producers as well on the tracks for this album, but he is there in the producing booth working on the sound as well. So he's not just a rapper. I think that he was really young at the time when he made this album. He went way too ambitious with Rodeo, and he tried to build some sort of concept in the album, but it's so loose and kind of spread out that it's hard to follow. Not every track has that concept, but you can hear it as the album goes. You can see that he's trying to set up some kind of, what's the word? Like coming of age narrative, sort of like becoming of
like
Travis.
Building your own path.
Yeah. He's trying to set up some sort of coming of age narrative while also talking about his fantasies, which is a huge theme in this album. Is like
there's a lot of like, I guess, fantastic, you would call it, songs.
Yeah. He was trying to be more of an artist at this point in his career rather than just a hook man for like radio songs, which is what, unfortunately, it's what he's become. But this Travis Scott is different than the Travis Scott that you would listen to on like Highest in the Room, for example, or I don't know.
It's like my first proper exposure to him, so I'm not really familiar with like anything he's done.
Right. Yeah. Like, and that's actually really interesting because he's so popular. He's such an icon in
I'm
today's.
not a Yeah, I'm just not big on like rap that much in general.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then I don't really listen to like what's currently popping. I listen to stuff that's old all the time. I know what I like and I like.
But so before we get into the track by track, I just want to ask you like some questions about.
Okay, this is a screening.
No, like I'm just kind of curious. Like I I think that after these past couple of weeks, I have kind of an idea of what it is that you like and you dislike about rap. Did
Okay.
you not enjoy? He has some bars on here. He has some long verses and he has some bars. So was it they just you just weren't feeling it?
There are definitely some longer verses. It's just the content isn't. I don't know. It's just all about like I guess fantasies, right? It's like
Yeah.
oh, I get to pop up in the club with like all these ladies, come back to the hotel with or whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
Like
Yeah, yeah.
we're all just popping pills and drinking, having a good time. But then like you can just tell that I don't know. It feels a little generic, I guess. And then yeah.
Okay. Like
Some of his other verses are just like him trying to be introspective.
he is very introspective in this album and that's sort of where the Kid Cudi influences kind of flow in. I feel like
Right.
the Kanye influences are very much through his delivery and the way that he raps, as well as his
Yeah,
production.
his flow is very Kanye.
Yeah, yeah. But you get sort of that Kid Cudi. It's like I said, like you mesh the two rappers, you get that Kid Cudi lyricism with the Kanye flow, and it's like their perfect love child, essentially. Like is what you're getting with Travis. It's like
Well, I would say it's a love child. I wouldn't call it perfect. I like both of those artists a lot more than I like this.
yeah, I mean, I guess that's where we disagree, right? I would, I would put this on the same level as Man on the Moon 2, not 1, but 2, for example. I would put it on the same level as 808s and Heartbreak as well. This to me is like just like another like huge like big rapper, and that's the thing is I wouldn't rate any of his other albums at this highly. This is obviously an artist trying to express himself, and his new music is not that. And if he would continue to do what he was doing on this album, he would have obviously grown as an artist, which is not what he wants. But what you're seeing here is like that those raw influences really coming through in the production and in the lyrics.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I just
You don't
don't think
have
he
to.
does it as well, right?
Yeah, yeah. We can get into it.
Alright.
Yeah. So we'll start off pornography. How did you feel about that track?
So the very first thing I wrote
Uh huh.
was this sounds like a worse version of 808. Just based on the production and the beat.
Okay.
I really don't have much written for this track. Just like the intro with Ti is kind of cool, I guess.
Right. So you don't think that that's setting up that loose narrative that I was talking about earlier?
Right. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And like, I would say it's like, it's cool because that's not necessarily what people know Travis Scott as. So it's kind of like, for one, it's a time capsule because he would never make a song like this ever again or on his album ever again. As
But
well as, sorry, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, for me, like uh, nothing outside of this album, like I don't have any context for it. None of it matters to me, right?
No, I know, but like neither did I, right? Like when I was listening to it for the first time.
Right. But you were just saying like this song's great because it's a time capsule of an
That's
old
a
version
reason
of
as to
him.
why it's cool, but I would say that more than anything, if you're just turning on this album, you're kind of like it's kind of like preparing you to take this ride with Travis, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun narration voice.
Yeah, and like he's talking in his intro, like Ti is. He says, obviously, like that whole coming of age thing comes into play right here when he says, "We find ourselves consumed and utterly mesmerized with the story of a young rebel against the system." He said, "At that moment, the one known as Jacques turned to Scott." Like that, Jacques is his actual name. And
Right.
when he says turn to Scott, like he became the Travis that we know, right? So it's kind of like that coming of age thing that he's trying to build. It's like very much like, oh, I'm not a kid anymore. Like I'm doing what I want. Like that's such a big part of this album is like, I'm just going to do what I want and I'm going to live my crazy life, right? Through all these fantasies that I'm going to portray in the album, which is like
Yeah. But then
perfectly
it's all
summarized.
depressing because it just talks about being on pills all the time. It's not. Is that really what you want to do to live your
That's
best
not,
life? Like
no, I,
that's
I get what you're saying, but it's more about just not conforming. And I would highly disagree that I don't think he brings up being on pills every single
oh
song.
gosh, I think it's probably at least 80%.
No, no, you're wrong. You're definitely not correct.
Okay, we'll see.
I mean, man, like there's a lot of themes, man. There's like a lot of themes like there's love, there's obviously partying. He talks about yeah, like growing up. He talks about doing drugs, obviously. Talks about his friends. Uh yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's not just about doing pills, right? That's so definitely like that's a gross oversimplification of what this album is about. Is just doing pills.
I guess.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
The chorus for this song, he goes, "No monogamy, menage with me." What the fuck does that mean? I honestly don't get that.
Menage a trois is like a three-way. Menage a trois.
Oh, it's a
So he's
three-way.
saying no monogamy. So I don't want just one person. I
Oh,
want all of them. Menage
I see. Okay.
pornography surround. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Right in the course. You get high with me. You come down with me.
Yeah, that could be talking about anything, dude. That's not pills.
I think we all know what he's talking about.
Okay, that's that's a huge assumption, bro.
He's talking about drugs at the very least.
Obviously, he's talking about drugs, but that could also be weed.
It could be.
Like Kid Cudi in his first album talks about weed pretty much every song.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but that album's not about weed. It's just a thing that he talks about in his music in that first album. But the album overall is not about weed,
I'm not
right?
saying this album is about pills. I'm just saying I think it was made for people on pills. There's a difference, right?
Yeah, that
Like
there is a difference. Yeah.
there's like trippy animated movies made for people on acid, but the movies aren't about acid.
Right. Okay. So is it just sonically, you think, like the production and the way he
Yeah, the
raps?
whole production is just like psychedelic as fuck. Like I feel like I should be like dozing in and out of something listening to this.
But so then why pills,
Even
right? That
weed,
could be
but
like, yeah, weed or like
because he
mushrooms.
mentions pills so many times throughout the album. That's why I said that.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that's fair. Um, do you want to talk about the verse or do you want to move on? The verse is like okay.
Yeah, it's it's all right. It's not like he's like terrible at rapping. I really don't like that he's always auto tuned.
Yeah, it's a big part of it, yeah, of his style.
Uh, yeah, and not for me. Like, there's a couple verses where he raps without auto tune, and he actually has a
Hmm.
great rap voice. I don't know
Yeah,
why he
yeah.
doesn't use it.
It's because it's part of his aesthetic. He has this thing in his first mixtape where like he's talking to himself as Jacques, and whenever he's Travis Scott, he has auto tune on. When he doesn't have auto tune on, he's Jacques, right? So he's kind of
Yeah,
like,
okay,
yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like part of his thing.
right. Yeah, I don't know. It bothers me a little bit. personally. I don't
Yeah.
really like the sound of it.
I really like it. That's all preference at that point, whether you enjoy
No, for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, for my preferences, it's not doing it.
Mm-hmm. I like the way that it ends with like the weird, like you can't really make out what he's saying. It's just kind of like this weird distorted yelling that he's doing.
I don't know if I picked up on that when I listened the first time, but I noticed that he does like something similar a lot throughout the album, just like a bunch of layered vocals on top of each other.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You can't really pick out like what's supposed to be actually being said and what's in the background. Kind of all in the background,
Right. Yeah.
which is okay. It's a cool choice, I guess. But yeah, I noticed like quite a bit. You can't really make out what he's saying due to that. Like on top of like I guess auto tune, but that's just something you get used to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess it's I don't know. It kind of sets the pace for the album, right?
Yeah, it does. Really good introduction. We can go on to On My Disc side or Oh My Disc side.
Right.
This is a weaker track. I'll admit that.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Yeah. I think one thing that I'll say is fuck Quavo, because like holy shit, dude.
I wrote down Quavo sucks lol.
Literally, man. Like I don't know, dude. Like Travis is
Yeah.
trying to rap, and all I hear is fucking Quavo in the background being like, "Ooh, bando, gra, whipping,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Bro, shut the fuck up."
Yeah. I also wrote the whole chorus is just ain't it. Like he can write way better hooks. He has way better hooks on the album.
Yeah,
This hook is just oh my god.
it's
Just stop saying oh my over and over again.
yeah, and I get that that's the point of the it's supposed to be like a two-part song where like the first part is "Oh my," and then they switch to this side, but
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Like especially the first part.
This side sounds a lot better than oh my.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
for sure. If
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah,
say
yeah.
something over and over again, say this side.
Yeah, and Travis's part on the diss side part, like on the diss side section of the song,
Yeah.
where he goes like, "I made a lot of money on this side, lost a lot of money on this side." Like, I love that verse so much. That's the only part of the song that I like.
Feels I wrote it feels very lazy lyrically.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to set up, I think, like, because, like, the way, what we were talking about is, when we were saying that a lot of the songs just kind of feel like his fantasy. I think what he's trying to say is, like, it's not all sunshine and rainbow, right? Like, he's being, like, he's bringing up the upsides of it and then bringing back, like, the negative sides of it, like, and then juxtapositioning them together. I know that this is, like, a gross overanalyzation of a very, like, very like lyrically like condensed verse, but like I think that there is something there that he was trying to do that he maybe couldn't get perfectly right, you know?
Right. Yeah, I guess. Like he's saying it not not everything's sunshine and rainbows, but what is like this side? Is that
I think he's talking
him
about
being-
his
is that him
ends.
being famous?
No, he's talking about his ends. Like sort of like his neighborhood, right? Like
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's what he's talking
Oh,
about.
my side of the tracks.
Yeah, exactly. Where he's like, had my first kiss on this side, learned a lot of shit about this side, lately about
Yeah.
thinking about this side, trying to get back on this side because, like, you know, getting that fame and stuff. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's a good verse. The only good part about the album, if I'm to be honest. But other than that, the Quavo verse is like a solid like it's like a solid 1 out of 10 if I'm gonna be honest. Like I just can't do it with Quavo, dude. Like it's so I know I already shit on him once, but holy shit, dude.
There's nothing wrong with sitting on Quavo again.
Dude, yeah, here we
literally
go.
wrote it in my notes. Guy.
Like yeah, bro, like I honestly couldn't like in 2015 I didn't mind it as much because he wasn't in the mainstream media as much as he is today. He's so overplayed now that I'm just like, why the fuck is this guy so popular? He's so shit. All he does is do like terrible ad libs over weak lines. He has nothing substantial to say whatsoever. He's like,
He's like today's T-Pain, you know?
yeah, but like even T-Pain was like, I know a lot of
T Pain
people.
was the first one to do the fun auto tune. Like
Yeah,
now
yeah,
everyone's pulling that shit for ad libs.
right. Yeah, I don't know this fucking song. Dude. I'm so sick of hearing Quavo. Like, and I'm pretty sure he might be on another song on here. I could be wrong. I don't
I
remember.
think I remember him being on multiple tracks.
Yeah, yeah. So we can go into 3500 if you want. I don't have much more to say.
No, I didn't write much about that. Just felt like a lazy song. Really hated the hook. I
Hmm.
mean, they're just talking about getting fucked up, selling drugs. It's like a little bit talking about jail, but
Yeah, yeah. Pretty much a weaker track on the album. Uh, 3500 was actually one of the singles. Uh,
yeah, I've definitely heard this song before.
yeah,
Like when it came on, I was like, oh yeah, I know this.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I never really like listened to the lyrics because I don't think you're meant to listen to the lyrics for this like whole production choice like style at all.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's
You're really just
fair.
meant to be like a wall of noise that sounds nice.
Yeah, it's kind of a longer track too. And I feel like this is one of the songs that kind of drags on a little too long.
Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
I mean, I like the song a lot more. I think he like, rides the beat better. The production overall is just better. The hook's actually like pretty catchy.
Hmm.
Like Sundays in the city, moving flow, 3500 on the coat. Like
Yeah, yeah,
it just sounds good. He says it fast with that auto tune
uh huh.
going.
Yeah, yeah,
Like this is one of the songs that like I think he's like very hit or miss on his hooks. They're either like awesome or just like terrible. And I don't really know what the difference is because they all kind of sound the same, but
I was
sometimes it
just about
just
to
slaps and
ask,
sometimes it
like,
doesn't.
right. I was just about to
I don't
ask,
know what
like,
it is.
so you don't really like if you had to put like if you had to like define it. If you had like a question on a test, and it was like, what makes a good Travis Scott song? Like you just wouldn't be able to pick apart like what it is that you like about it.
Well, at least for hooks,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's
like
talk just
specifically what makes
hooks.
it a good hook.
Uh huh.
I mean, I guess it's just just how they rhyme. I guess right. Like it, I don't know really know. Like this one's just like fast, and you just like hit you with the slow coat float. No, like
Hmm.
and it's nice, and it's kind of like it just like slides off the tongue. Whereas I feel like some other ones might not quite as
Okay.
well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think the speed helps this one a lot too.
Yeah, that's good. I like the production on here a lot as well. I love Future on this song. Not gonna lie.
I wrote Future's verse is dot dot dot. I did not enjoy that verse at all.
Really?
No.
Wow, dude. I love Future's verse on here, man. Oh, dude.
Uh,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll still say like the best part about this song, and I love Travis and Future. It's Two Chains.
It's 100% two
Yeah,
chain.
yeah. It is Two
Yeah.
Chains, but the Future.
I never complain about a two chains verse. Something about it. It's just always like it just rubs me the right way.
Even just the way he comes into the beat, right? Like where he says to my bathtub the size of swimming pools, at that point you already know it's gonna be hard, bro. You know that shit's gonna bang. Like,
Yeah, I like the I do shit that you dreamed of. I was born with a mean mug.
yeah.
I was born with some nappy hair, drinking breast milk
We
out of
got
a
a
lean
link
cup.
up. Yeah, bro. So
Dude, I was
good.
like laughing so hard when I heard that.
I love it. I love the Two Chains verse, dude. But
Yeah, two chains always comes in with something. It's always funny at the very
yeah,
least,
it
right?
is always funny. It's I don't know. I think the what I like most about Future is his voice. I think that's like that stays true about most of his music. It's
Right.
his voice and delivery. So I think it just really it blends so well with the Travis Scott sound that I like. I'm just obsessed with it.
I actually like Travis Scott's like sound a lot better than Future, at least in this song. I haven't really dove into Future, but
Okay, well, what I'm hearing is we might have to dive into Future one week.
we might do that at some point. Yeah, but as it stands, I've heard Future and like heard like his XXL cipher, which was really bad.
Oh, I actually have
Uh,
not heard that. I didn't even know he was on.
oh
Oh,
gosh, it's you don't need to.
okay. Yeah.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
he's in the one track. What is it? Like Raindrop Drop Top. That's him, right?
Nah, bro, those are the Migos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, I don't know what else. And
That's actually That's another
That's a
Quavo
Quavo
song.
song, right? Yeah. Yeah, but that song goes hard because of the beat, right?
Oh
The beat and the
yeah,
hook in that song is just like
right. Yeah, I still don't fuck with it. I gotta stay true to my to my
your Quavo hate.
yeah.
That's
That's it.
fair.
That's the one thing I gotta stay consistent with my Quavo hate. Um,
I thought this song, like the verses have like a pretty minimal beat, right? Over the
mhm.
verses,
Yeah, yeah,
and then when the chorus hits, it just like drops that bass immediately and just like abrasively comes in with Sunday's city moving flow or
yeah,
slow.
yeah,
I
yeah.
almost feel like they should have like had the bass drop and then like 4 bars later start with the chorus. Like it just seems like a little abrasive how it just like comes right in and just like slaps you in the face with the hook again.
I would say it makes it a lot more epic. It gives the song a lot more spectacle by sort of like
It just caught me off guard all the time, like listening to
right.
it. Right,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
listening to a verse and then I would just get like smacked in the face with this bass drop again. I'd be like, oh my god.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
Uh, so I don't know. I guess it's just preference, but for me, it's felt like it's obviously a deliberate choice to do that, right?
Hmm.
And in the production booth, he was like, "This is how I want it to go," and I can respect that. I don't know. It felt weird to me, but I mean, I might grow to like it more over time.
Yeah,
This is a song I wouldn't mind hearing again, for
right.
sure.
So this is kind of like a higher point in the album.
So far,
Yeah. All right.
I feel like the whole first half of the album is stronger than the second half.
Yeah, you know what? For the most part, I would probably agree with you. There's a couple of songs I can probably like pick out.
Right, there's obviously a good song or like decent songs on both ends, but for the
Uh-huh.
most part, it comes out stronger in the first
Yeah,
half.
I would probably agree with that
I
statement.
think it might have something to do with all the features as well.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
He's
The
got
song
features on like every
on
track,
like pretty much
like
every
the
single
first eight,
track.
right?
Yeah.
And then the back half, he has a bunch of like solo songs.
Mm-hmm. So like I think it's something that he's going for is just like he's trying to get those like stadium bangers, right? Those like kind of like
Well,
anthems, I
yeah,
guess. You know what I mean? Like
exactly. That's
yeah.
for sure how you like sell tickets, right?
Right.
You have
Yeah.
like you have one or two huge tracks, and everyone will go see your whole show.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like that thing with Two Chains that we were talking about a couple of weeks ago, where like you throw enough of those at the wall, one of them will stick, right? So
Exactly.
yeah. How about Wasted? How did you feel about this song?
I thought it was okay. I think Juicy J is the best part of the track. I
Yeah,
think
I
that probably
agree.
ties back to I just don't like the auto tune rapping.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it sounds a lot like Kanye West meets ASAP for me.
That's interesting. In what sense, though? You think like Juicy J sounds like ASAP, or
No, I think the way that Travis Scott fucks with his voice a few
oh, okay.
times sounds a
Mm-hmm.
lot like what ASAP likes to do.
Uh-huh. Can you
I
name me
didn't
like a
write down
track on
specifically
that?
what line it was, but
Yeah.
I remember hearing it like a few times throughout the song album. Like it was actually in the hook.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a hook? Oh no! Oh yeah, it was. So yeah, it was actually not even Travis Scott. It was the Pimp C
Yeah,
sample.
yeah,
The way he like fucks with Pimp C's voice in the sample is like very ASAP. Which I guess
I'm having honestly a hard time kind of making that connection. Like, do you have like an example of like an ASAP song that I could probably compare it to?
uh yeah, like oh fuck, what is it? It's off his first album. Or his mixtape.
Live Love ASAP.
Yeah. It's just like boo-ka-doo-doo-boo-doo-doo. Like I don't know, it just like, gets that really
Oh, like
like
kind of
deep.
like that. Like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. He does a lot of that. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. Okay, like the really deep kind of like
Oh, I'm thinking of Demon song.
demon,
Demon plural.
demons.
It's like the pre-hook in that song. He does
Okay,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Um,
Uh I don't know. Like the whole production on this album is like ambitious, I guess.
it is. It's trying to.
And it's not like necessarily bad, but for me, it's not amazing either.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you can tell he's trying to do a lot of things, and these things could be cool if it was like I don't know if they had one more person in the studio trying to like help guide them, maybe. At least to me.
Well, like there's a lot of veterans in there, man. You got like Mike Dean and Metro Boomin on this track with Travis Scott as well, right?
I don't
So
know who any of those people are.
you don't know who Mike Dean or Metro Boomin
Maybe they
is.
just need a normie in there, you know?
Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe they just need somebody to like make it just tone them down from all the drugs.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're all just like way up here. And I'm gonna need to bring them down to here, you know? Like
Well, like
just down a couple notches.
I would say like so Mike Dean, he did No Church in the Wild, Bound to
Ooh, I love that track.
yeah, New Slaves, Father Stretch My Hands, Part 1, Ultra Light Beam, Goosebumps, Sicko Mode. Like, he's like a veteran, you know what I mean? Like, huge songs. And then you got Metro Boomin, who has like, he did Congratulations by Post Malone, Mask Off by Future, Bank Account, you know, Jumpman by Drake and Future, Child's
Oh,
Play,
right.
X.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bad
Yeah,
and
like
Bougie.
these guys all have like great resumes. But
Yeah.
like I feel like sometimes you get like too many artists in a room and they just get excited and feed off each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think like maybe science has gone too far, you know?
That's honestly like I get what you're saying because the production is very much over the top intentionally. But yeah,
Right.
I
Yeah.
get what you mean. Like, yeah. Maybe just like tone it down a couple notches.
Yeah, like I feel like any of those people individually would probably not make something like this, right?
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But then
And
they're
that's
all
fair.
feeding off of like the quirks that they have with each other, I guess,
Mhm.
and then
Plus,
like gets really quirky.
it's Travis's album, right? So he probably has a lot more power in there than the other two. So,
Yeah.
yeah. How do you feel about the outro? It's more narration, kind of like continuing that loose narrative that he's trying to set up.
Yeah,
Um,
it's still kind of pushing the story. I mean, I like the whole Ti coming in as if he's like Morgan Freeman. It's kind of funny.
yeah, that's actually a perfect description of what Ti does.
I think I was reading somewhere Ti's like he signed him, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's kind of cool. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's trying to play innocent, right?
hmm I mean,
Just fine.
like, there's that. They bring in, they start talking about like drugs and stuff. He's talking
Yeah,
about
we
like,
lean MDMA.
uh-huh. He's talking about like taking leaps in your life, right? Like taking chances almost. So,
Yeah, and I get the impression that he's a young man. Like, what is he, like 20 or something when this came out?
Travis?
Yeah.
I want to say he was, yeah. I mean, he could have been younger, dude. Travis Scott's not that old. Travis
Right.
Scott is, uh, so this came out,
25th.
yeah, he was 24. So he was,
Oh,
yeah, he was actually a lot older than I thought, but,
right.
he's been signed, so he was signed for 3 years by the time that he released Rodeo. So he got signed when he was like 20, 21.
I see.
Yeah. He's almost 30 now. That's crazy. Yeah.
Means nothing to me.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah. We can continue on to 90210. What did you think about this song? I think this is one of the more interesting songs on the album, actually, if I had to be honest.
Yeah, it's so now 210 is like Beverly Hills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So yeah, the song's kind of cool. I wrote it's about gaining success and falling prey to like drugs in Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
The first half is like the reality, like what he's experiencing, and then the
Mm-hmm.
second half kind of goes into like what he'd be saying to his family back home, like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, yeah.
I'm holding it down, I'm doing so great, but like really
Mm-hmm.
struggling. Oh, that was kind of neat.
You get more of that coming of age theme as well on this track. He's talking about kind of like
He talks about his like family, right?
yeah, but even in the first line where he comes in, he goes, "Jacques turned the flame. Now he rolling on an Addy," which is basically just like Jacques being him, and then the flame being Travis. You know what I mean? So like it's like he's kind of turned into that persona now. I'm no longer that person that I was, and I'm on drugs now.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Might pop a pill. Like it's the very next line.
Hmm
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It shows up a lot.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's saying pop
Trying
anything.
to pop anything to find that alley, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like
yeah.
he's willing to get fucked up on whatever he can get his hands on.
Yeah.
Ooh. a little rough.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just, yeah, I mean,
City chews you up and spits you out, I guess, right? That's LA
mhm.
for you.
It's kind of like the narrative that he's trying to set up in the song. I actually really like it, especially the last verse. I like the whole like talking to himself and talking to his family, and like,
I really like the beat in the second half.
yeah, I
A lot more
love it.
standard. It's just like a nice, like proper beat to rap over, you know?
Hmm.
And this is this one of the verses where he just raps normally, right? It's not auto-tuned?
Yeah. Well, for because
Yeah.
he's talking to himself for a lot of it. It has that whole thing where like Travis is talking to Jacques, right? So it's really really cool.
Okay.
Yeah, if you watch the video, it's a lot easier to follow the story
I
because he
mean, I,
has
I mean, I picked it up on my first listen, so, well, kind of at least.
right. I think the video is really cool. It's like claymation, and
Oh, that's
he does like two versions of himself talking to each other in an alley, right? Where it's like one of them's kind of like dressed normally, the other one's kind of like dressed like Travis normally would, and they're like talking to
right.
each other. It's really
I
cool
said,
visuals. Yeah.
pretty neat. Yeah, the album cover's weird too, eh? It's just him as a doll.
Well, yeah. There's actually a story behind that because you were supposed to get an action figure with the album, and you were supposed to plug it in, and the action figure was supposed to rap the whole album to you. Like it was supposed to like move with the music.
That would be so cool.
I
Did
know,
that
but
work?
no, well, they didn't let him do it because they said it would have been too much money. And it was his first album, so they didn't know if he was going to be popular at the time.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to like even produce now and just sell as like a deluxe edition or collector's edition or
That
something.
that would be so cool. Yeah. Um yeah, it's kind of a shame that he never got to do that. He talked about it in an interview a while back.
Right.
Yeah. So this next song, dude, what do you think about the Weekend feature?
I'm almost like I haven't like sat down and listened to a bunch of Weekend originals
Uh-huh.
necessarily, but I'm always a big fan of Weekend. Whenever I hear him, I'm like, yeah, this is it. I want this.
Yeah, he's so good, right? I love it.
Hmm.
He's obviously the
Yeah.
best part of this song.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I agree with that.
Hmm.
Uh, thought the beat was all right. I caught some synths,
Yeah.
some wild synths, and
Uh-huh.
that always rubs my buttons. So gets my dick hard. I'm into that. Uh,
Oh man. Yeah.
also, it kind of sounds like a discount. Yay! Like this is a song where
Yeah, he's
he's really
definitely
biting like Kanye style, like
hmm
flow wise at least, right?
yeah. Uh I really like it though. I think he does a really good job of it. I even think the way that the Weekend sort of like bounces off in the background at near the end of his verse, you can kind of hear him singing over his bars. I think it works really, really well. I think they did a really good
Yeah.
job with this song. And the lyrics are nothing too crazy. He's talking about love and like, you know, sort of like just like girls and stuff. It's not necessarily about sex. He's just talking about like,
No, it's more about companionship, right?
yeah, he's just talking about sort of like inner like turmoils and dealing with that and then like companionship. But I think they did a really good job. And yeah, you're actually right. Their pills came up again. So yeah, there we go.
I guess it's easy to look over, but for
Yeah.
me, it was just something that was like pretty glaring because I saw it and because I'm reading the lyrics, right?
Hmm.
And like every single song I saw mentioned like taking a pill, and I'm like, damn, dude,
Yeah, see that's
relax. You gotta get through this whole. I'll be fucking overdose.
I feel like that's the thing too. Like I had listened to this album so long ago and then I didn't listen to it like fully through for so long until I asked you if you wanted to do it. Went outside and I listened to it and I came back after my listen of sitting in the park and I was blown away. I was literally like, bro, this album's still a 10 out of 10. This is amazing. Like everything about it is good. And then a couple of listens after I was like, yeah, no, probably like an 8, 8.5. But yeah.
A little bit of that nostalgia.
Yeah, the
Wave in
nostalgia
you.
hits you hard, bro, that first
Oh
time when you're
yeah.
listening to it. Yeah. But even the Weeknd's verse on here, when he starts, he's like, comes in, the beat kind of like goes completely silent. There's just a little bit of a melody, and he's like, underrated is an understatement. Starts picking up again, like, feels so cool when he starts singing.
Yeah, I like the just ask the lonely, like the note he hits comes out
Yeah.
of it.
Hmm.
super nice. Weekend's verse is really good too.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, not just the hook.
Yeah.
Everything about the weekend in this song is great.
So great. He makes the song for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that's also a killer track on the album. I think they do a really good job with that one.
Yeah, that's also one that I wouldn't mind hearing like more.
Mm-hmm. So I think this next upcoming song is kind of meh.
I wrote almost nothing for this song.
Yeah, it's kind
It
of
came
meh.
in one ear and out the other, and I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm. It's about going to fucking clubs and shit and spending a bunch of money.
This is all about just getting the ladies, and yeah, this is like the like perfect fantasy song, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Order more bottles, order more models.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sway Lee, I never a fan of.
Nah, he's aight. Chief Keef was aight in this too. Like
Chief, I didn't like Chief Keef at all either. Travis
Yeah.
Scott's the best part of this song for sure.
Yeah, he is. He kind of carries the whole
This
track.
is also a very great hook though. Like,
Yeah.
or I don't know if it's the hook or I guess it's written as the post chorus here in Genius, but
Mhm.
when he like sings that like when the night grows.
Yes. Yeah.
Like-
It's so good, right?
Oh, so good. Such a great hook.
Uh-huh.
It's just catchy. Like,
So let me ask you this, as somebody who isn't really like a Travis fan. Do you think he took the right call in becoming sort of like that hook man for rap?
I mean, if that's what he's doing right now and he's pumping out hooks like this, he's done the right way. Yeah, he's doing it right.
Yeah, see,
I think he shines a lot more in his hooks and just his catchy. I guess that's the post chorus, whatever.
Mhm.
Than he does in his verses.
Yeah, that's interesting because I think that was one of my biggest complaints about modern Travis is that he's not really getting on verses as hard as he used to. But I think it's interesting hearing another perspective from somebody who's actually like listened to his old stuff and been like, yeah, like he's probably making the right call by doing just those choruses.
Right. Like, and I don't mean to shit on him because
No, that's fine,
like,
like-
he's obviously a better artist than I am.
No, I mean you're allowed to shit on him. That's
Yeah.
the whole point. But
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, like your most redeeming quality is just your catchy melodies that you
Mhm.
do. So, yeah, I think he's a lot more accessible that way.
Yeah,
Right.
That's interesting. Yeah, I feel like
And like, I don't know how much people pay for hooks, but if this guy's like the hook guy, like
Yeah.
he gets paid $50K to be on a track.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, do
yeah,
that.
that's definitely what's going on. So yeah, that's basically what he's turned into, which is kind of sad in my opinion. But I understand the appeal because it's so like he has such a good way of kind of like making his voice sound bigger than it actually is. It makes the whole song just a spectacle. Way
His
bigger.
voice is just overproduced to fuck, but it actually works for some reason.
Right. Yeah. That's a really good way of describing it. It's overproduced.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I'd want to hear this song all the time, but I could definitely like see that the hook getting like just stuck in my head random.
It's as somebody who's a fan of this album, it's hard to sit. That's the one that I always skip. It's kind of hard to sit through that whole song. But yeah, even this next one coming up, it's kind of sad.
Oh my gosh!
yeah, we can talk about this song. I think something interesting before we get into it is that they have, before this song came out, they had teased this song for, I'm not joking you, man, 2 years. like two 1 to 2 years.
Oh my god, that's embarrassing.
yeah. Like, it was supposed to be on his mixtape called Days Before Rodeo. And it didn't, they were like, yeah, it's not finished. And then everyone was like, holy shit, this is going to be amazing. Like, they're probably working on this so hard. And then it came out, and I just remember disappointment, man. That's all I remember when it came out. It's just, I get what it's trying to do. Like, I don't know. What do you think?
So the first thing I noticed
Uh-huh.
was the guitar sample at the beginning,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What song is this? I've heard this before, right?"
Uh-huh.
So then, like, I looked it up, and it's a Hendrix track.
Yeah, it is.
Hendrix Machine Gun.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's where I heard it, right? Because, like, everyone, I don't know if everyone's seen, but, like, the video of him doing it live at Woodstock, it's, like, crazy.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool, and like the song "Machine Gun" is like super anti-Vietnam War, right?
Uh huh.
He like distorts the fuck out of the American anthem.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure, and just like the way like he plays his guitar just sounds like a machine gun. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
But so it's just like kind of like an anti-aggression slash like anti-war, like kind of an aggressive track against like the state, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of cool that they sampled that going into what they're saying.
Uh huh. Yeah.
um, like
How
the
do
whole
you?
beat and song were just aggressive. Uh,
Yeah.
it's
That's the
just
whole
bad.
point. They were trying to make like.
It's just bad
Okay, so you don't
to
think
me.
that they dealt with the subject matter? Because that was what my question was going to be. Was they didn't deal? I think it would have been a cool subject to tackle. I don't think they did it well, and I don't know because I'm such
It's
a
just like they're just saying like, "Look, bitch, I made it." You know,
well that there's a
fuck
lot more
anyone who
to
tried
it.
to hold me back.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it. Like it's mostly about like large executives in music, kind of like ruining the artistry of it, right?
Okay. I took that more of a societal thing when I first listened to it, but
Uh
I
huh.
think you were probably more correct.
I think
That's a better interpretation.
I feel like that's what they're talking about, right? They're talking about
Right.
like
Because like all of the like Kanye made it out independent, then
yeah,
like Ti as well, right?
hmm but
So
like
taking in Travis Scott and they're like, let's leapfrog all this stupid like crappy rap labels, let's just get you in here.
yeah, I mean like I think Travis sums it up really well at the end of his verse when he says, my, look at little Scotty now. The same fuckers used to doubt, all preaching that they proud. I pull my zipper down and whip it out." Right? So he's basically
Okay.
saying like, look at me now, I made it. None of you guys helped me. You all doubted me. Like, suck my dick, basically. Right?
Right.
So, and he's specifically, I think he's talking about those like executives who are basically like pretending like they know more than the artist themselves. I think
Yeah.
so. Here's what makes the song
But
really bad. Um,
Kanye.
well, yeah, right? Like, yeah, I mean, why, like, who made the decision to repeat "Piss on Your Grave" 6 times in a row? Like, or it's like they says it so many times. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it's such a big part of the song, and like, even the lines before that. I use your face as a urinal, then do the same at your funeral. Like,
Pits on your
that's
grave. Yeah.
bro, that's
I mean
so
that's a funny line. That's just hilarious.
it's so cringe. I feel like
You can't take this song seriously after all this, you know?
no,
It's just like the song became immediately a write off when I heard it.
yeah, and even just the way he starts, like Kanye is just like, "Yo," it's I'm already like, okay, here we go. I don't know.
Yeah, that's just Kanye being Kanye though.
Yeah,
Guys gotta I don't know. He's a little crazy, I think.
yeah, I don't know, dude. It just relies so heavily on the beat itself. I expected so much more from Kanye West, is what I'm saying. Especially as like sort of like that mentor figure going into like this guy's first debut album. You couldn't fucking, you couldn't
Like
make.
he could yeah, he couldn't just be try he couldn't try. He couldn't just write a Kanye verse.
I know you couldn't try, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm so
The
disappointed.
debut album you got the Kanye feature and he's just clowning. Like just being a fucking idiot.
Literally,
Like,
bro.
I understand Kanye doing this on his own albums, but come on, man.
I know, and it's such a short song too. Like, by the end of it, you're just mad. You're just like, whatever. It's like, and then
Yeah.
it leads into Antidote. Like, it's so bad. Like, I don't know. Like 7, 8,
Yeah, it's a weird placement, I guess, as
yeah.
well.
Like track 7, 8, and 9. Like, I feel like you could just like scrap those 3 tracks.
No way.
You don't think
What?
so?
Okay, again, I really like just like sonically not Nightcrawler. At least like half of the song is just a stupid hook. Maybe like a
Right.
third of it.
Okay, maybe 8 and 9 then. I feel like
And then Antidote is like we're gonna move on to that,
yeah,
I
we can move
guess.
on to Andrew. I'm over pissed on your grave, dude. I'm so mad.
Antidote, I honestly didn't think I needed to write anything. I wrote peak Travis Scott, done.
So that's interesting. When we first started talking about this, I remember you saying that Antidote was trash. I could be wrong.
No, you were playing some. you were playing some other tracks for me, just like in the background,
Uh-huh.
and then you're like, "This song's great. This song's great," and then I was like, "This song's worse than Antidote." I said they were
Oh
worse than
yeah, and
Antidote.
then I got really mad. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I don't like this song. Maybe it's because it's overplayed. I don't like songs when they
Oh
become
my god,
overplayed.
this song was yeah. You couldn't avoid this song.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I
yeah.
heard this song when it was new, obviously,
I
or
don't
when
know.
it
I
blew up,
think
whenever that is.
the
But
thing that I don't like about this song is you don't get that like deep voice Travis over a verse, which is like what I really like about Travis Scott. I would go back to something like in Pornography, that really long verse at the end of the song. That's where I think he shines, and you don't really get that in Antidote. It's mostly that higher pitched kind of like don't you don't you open up that window, don't you let out that antidote. I'm not really a fan of that Travis sound because
I
you would
like the
have
whole, I like the whole like interludes with like all like the night show stuff. Anything can happen at the night show.
yeah.
It's
Hmm.
just like it just sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree.
I feel like a lot of this isn't really meant to be rapping, and it's more just meant to be like a song, you know?
Yeah, no, and I agree. And Travis Scott has said himself a couple of times, like, I don't want to describe myself as a rapper. He doesn't want to like tie himself down to just like like a rapper, kind of like that sound specifically. He's trying to do his own thing. I respect that, but like, yeah, I just don't think that's where he shines. That's not really what I'm like listening to Travis for. Specifically,
Right.
like,
This is all I'm listening to Travis for.
yeah, I mean, I like, I don't know. I feel like this song is the reason why he became the hook man, in my opinion. So I feel like I have that kind of grudge against the song as well because he wasn't that popular before this song.
That's why I like this song.
Yeah.
Put him into the hook man position. Someone
Yeah.
figured it out.
That's funny. It's just not like my favorite, I guess. I would
Yeah. This
describe
song, I guess it's also worth mentioning, talks about popping pills,
it. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Popping pills is all we know. That's literally right there.
In the hills is all we know.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. Um,
I thought, what is it? I thought the one line was pretty funny.
which one?
Your bitch not at home. She had the night show. Just makes me laugh.
I love it when rappers talk about taking your girl. It's like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. It's
Followed
top
up
comedy.
with followed up with fucking right ho.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Do you have more to say? I don't really have much to say about this song. It's such a everybody knows this song. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Again, peak Travis Scott. This song's awesome.
yeah. I mean, even just to like talk about how fucking insane this song was when it dropped and how much it blew
my
up.
Gosh, dude, I could like everywhere I was going. Like, I lived
Yeah.
I lived in a university city at the time,
Uh huh.
and like I remember like walking home from work on like Friday nights, and there's all these like house parties going on, and like I swear to God, like once a week I would just hear this blasting out of speakers,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
at some house party.
Dude,
Oh, yeah, everyone's bumping this track.
yeah, I believe it, man. It went so it went platinum, it went gold and then platinum on the same day, which is nuts, by the way.
How is that measured now? Is that just via streams?
It's streams and album sales, yeah.
Oh, I guess it'd be individual tracks, right? For this
Yeah,
song
I mean
specifically.
I
Yeah.
think the way that it works is like a certain number of streams. So like one stream isn't one purchase. So there's like a certain number of streams where like if you got like
Yeah,
a
like
hundred.
per 100, one purchase. Or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Yeah.
That's insane. Gold then platinum. What's platinum? 1 million?
No, that's diamond. I
Or-
think
or-
platinum is like 100,000.
Oh, okay.
I thought
Even still,
I could be wrong. I gotta look it up now.
I think platinum's higher than diamond.
No, diamond is the highest you can get because the only reason I know that is because Marshall Mathers LP was the only rap album to go diamond for like the longest time.
Oh, okay.
How many purchases is diamond? Is platinum? $500,000. So
Right.
you get double platinum is 1 million, and
So that's
then
like 5 million listens essentially, like streamed, right, or whatever it would be. I guess we don't know the definitive number.
yeah,
but
I'm not
either
really
way,
sure.
that's insane that it
Yeah.
just blew up like that over like literally a 24-hour period.
Yeah, and then diamond is 10 million.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's pretty crazy. The fact that, yeah, it just blew him right up. And nobody knew who he was at the time, which was like the craziest part, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, really good song. I like
Hmm.
it.
So how do you feel about Impossible?
So this is when he starts getting introspective, right?
Hmm. I really like it. I think it's got more of a conventional sort of like verse, chorus thing. But I really like this song. It's like I think it ties back into the whole fantasy thing we were talking about. He's talking about how he can do whatever he wants. Like I can do anything.
That's not what I. He says, "I wish I could do the impossible." Right?
Right. Yeah.
He's trying like
But
from what I
fantasizing.
understand from this,
Hmm.
like I don't know if it's a true story or not in a that space,
Hmm.
but it seems like he has a girl that he likes to visit when he's touring or when he's doing
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she also hooks up with other rappers while he's gone.
Uh huh. Yeah.
So he's trying to get her as his main. He's like, I actually have feelings for you, and it seems like you're not like that with me because you'll just fuck all of them.
Uh huh. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he says, "It's like this. I wish I could do the impossible." Like I guess, like implying he wishes that he could like win you over.
Yeah. Yeah. That's actually that's definitely what it's about. Yeah. It's I don't know. I like the way he raps on it. I like the undertones of it. It's more of a love
I
song.
think the production's all right. Okay, story. It's just like this is like big Kid Cudi influence.
Yeah. Right. Huge Kid Cudi
Like
influences.
sad and introspective.
Hmm.
I really like. So the first half of the like both verses is like pretty mellow as far as the beat goes,
Uh huh.
and then like it starts to pick up for the last like 8 bars, and like it's just like such a bopper. Like the way it like the hi hats and like drum bass,
Yeah.
sorry, the like the bass kicks at you
Hmm.
with his flow. It's just like you just want to like bop your head.
Hmm. Now, would you say that like, I guess we're a little late into like the album discussion now, but would you say like the trap influences in the production like really come through, right? Like the album is like very trappy. I feel like
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like psychedelics beat trap.
right, yeah, and I think that that's a really cool mesh. Like I think specifically in this song with the hi hats that you were pointing out, like you're really kind of getting that like. Because trap at the time too, trap wasn't that popular, so you're really kind of getting that like mainstream.
Like Ferg was probably popping by now, right? You got like Shaba or something, probably a big track.
Yeah, I mean, I actually maybe, yeah, probably right.
I think it came up before 2015. And like definitely
Yeah,
isn't like the 2 Chainz solo stuff like very trappy. All I want for my birthday is a
yeah, but you
big
weren't gonna
booty
get
hoe.
that. Like, you're not gonna get those songs on the radio, right?
That's fair, but I think there was definitely a cult following happening, like
Yeah, I think it was just
a
really.
pretty big one too, right?
Yeah, I think it was just really just like brought into the limelight. Like, I wasn't like this was one of my first like real introductions to trap. To be honest, this album. Maybe that just has
That's
to do with my age, right? Too, but
yeah,
hmm
yeah, or who you hang out with or whatever.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I was definitely well aware of trap rap, like
Before this or
way like
before
before this
20.
album came out. Yeah, like
Yeah,
probably like 2012, 2013.
right. Yeah. Yeah, maybe I could be wrong. I probably am. But
Right. But it like again, this album went pretty mainstream, right? So I guess it
mhm.
makes it more accessible to more people.
Yeah, I mean it was the first time like remember there was a huge discussion on the internet about how like oh trap is good now or whatever when this came out, which is really interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I think people maybe just took trap too seriously. You're not supposed to take trap seriously.
Right.
It's just
Yeah,
meant to
yeah.
be. With at least for me, I find it funny. And then like it's just like these big like hi hat driven beats
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
with like, very repetitive lyrics. Uh, I had like kind of a weird comparison I made, but I found the beat really like progressive, but more in the sense of like electronic music has like a progressive subgenre for all of like their genres,
Mhm.
and those are just like you start with like a basic beat and it just builds on top of itself more and more and gets like bigger and bigger.
Uh-huh. Okay.
This one does that quite a bit.
Okay.
Uh,
So this is progressive trap, is what you're saying.
Almost, yeah. But like, if you think of like progressive metal, like progressive in like the metal genre means something completely different to what it does like electronically. So
That's hilarious. Yeah, I've never considered it like that, but I totally get what you're saying. Oh man. So
I don't know. Sounds alright.
yeah, and I think I, you know what? I don't want to say it's the first one because I haven't been keeping track. This might be the first song without any features. Does 90210 have any features?
Well, I guess the intro has Ti. Antidotes by itself as well.
Oh, okay. So it's okay. All right. Yeah. So no features on Antidote and Impossible.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Ti on here? I don't think Ti is on here.
No, I was gonna say the first track had no feature. It has
Oh,
T.I.
Ti's on it. Yeah.
narrator.
Yeah. I think so. We'll move on. This is actually my favorite song on the album. Why are you laughing, bro?
I'm sorry. Go on.
I love this song. Maria, I'm Drunk. I love it. When I was younger, this used to be like my shit. I would play it all the fucking time. I actually bought Rodeo because they took this song off Spotify because Justin Bieber was in it and they couldn't get the rights to the Justin Bieber part. So they had to take the whole thing off streaming. Couldn't find it anywhere. You could only stream it on YouTube. So I actually bought the album for this song specifically. Like, I love the sound of it. I love the production on it. I love the vibe in this song. I know it's like really slow, dark, and gritty. I love it. I love the Justin Bieber verse. The Justin Bieber verse is so fucking good, man. Like, you're not really saying much. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really pay too much attention to his verse. I was just shocked to hear Justin Bieber rap. You know?
Mm-hmm. I love it. I think he does such a good job.
Well, let's just talk about the whole song's just about like booty calling groupies, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's also about like, obviously it's about getting drunk and stuff, but
Well, yeah, you booty call the groupies, you all get drunk, and then you bang. Like that's the point. That's like what this song is.
Yeah, it's about sex, definitely. Yeah.
And obviously, like the chorus is just a little obnoxious. Call your friends, let's get drunk. Like 18 times.
I think it goes a little too long. That's the one criticism I would give the chorus.
It's kind of catchy, just the way it comes out, but it's also kind of annoying. It's like a weirdly both for me.
Yeah, I think it overstays its welcome.
I like it. I like it in the verses. Like when they say "call your friend, let's get drunk" in the verses, I think it sounds nice. But like for a full hook, it's just so much, man.
Well, yeah, it's really simple.
The song like goes on too long.
Oh man, I like every second of it, to be honest.
That's why I started laughing. I was like, this song's definitely not for me. I find it hilarious that it's the best one for you.
Yeah, it's definitely the standout. Like I would say it's so different from everything else on the album too, right? Like, and I remember Justin Bieber is such a. I think the pacing of it, I would say, it's kind of a slower song. It's
right,
not,
like contextually though.
No, contextually it doesn't. It's not different. What I mean is like sonically
recycled from everything else.
Yeah, sonically though, it's like kind of like a slower, grittier.
I don't remember what the beat was like, but
you can.
I was just too distracted. I was too distracted by the chorus.
Right. I love it, and yeah, like I don't want to say that Justin Bieber is the best part. I think either Travis or Justin Bieber kind of take this song. I've never been a huge fan of Young Thug, but he does well in it too. I love the tone that Bieber brings into the table in comparison to Travis's voice tone. They kind of go they go back to back. So Travis does his verse, Justin gets right in. There's no like chorus in between, right? The way that Justin Bieber kind of meshes with the Travis sound that we were just listening to prior is so nice. I love it. He has kind of like a higher pitched voice. His flow is clean. It's good. His delivery is very good. And I don't know, like Justin Bieber.
I hate to say it, but Justin Bieber is the best rapper on this record.
Right?
Sorry on
Like
this song.
he's not he's pretty good, man. Like I don't know. Like I remember listening to this and showing it to everybody and being like, "Yeah, bro, he can actually rap." This was before he had kind of like rebranded himself to kind of like singing and rapping.
Yeah, like, well, this is before. What was his big album? Well, so around
Purpose.
the same time his big album came out, right? With like Skrillex was producing it or something.
Oh, the Diplo album. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, well, there was that too. He had the feature on the Jack U track.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh my gosh, it's gonna drive me nuts.
Like you talking about like
Like Sorry, the album was Sorry on it. I came out around the same time, right?
uh
So I feel like that's kind of where he rebranded himself, and like he has some like bangers on that album.
you talking about the best that album?
I don't know what it's called. I just remember hearing it.
Well, hold on. You said so the one with Sorry on it,
Yeah,
and then the one with also What Do You Mean?
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Purpose, and that
Oh,
is
okay. Yeah.
that's actually the same year. Yeah, so
Exactly. Yeah.
2015.
And
Yeah,
that's when he kind of like switched from like his like teenage boy with an acoustic guitar
right. Yeah,
persona into like I'm now a pop star.
yeah. But this was before that album had come out. I want to point that out really quick.
Right, but
So
he was definitely working on it like when he did first, right?
yeah, yeah. It was obviously already done, but people like there wasn't that shift yet. So I
That's
remember.
fair, right?
Sorry, continue.
I was just like thinking like 'cause I didn't know the exact timeline, but like I was like this man's got to be around the time where he'd already rebranded himself. But yeah, I guess he hadn't yet.
No, he hadn't, and I remember listening to this and just being like blown away by it. The vocals are amazing, and like I hear he's on the new Kanye album. I want more of this. I don't want any singing. I want more of this type of Justin Bieber, man. Like I love it.
Listen, you rap and you don't sing. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, this song's kind of a throwaway overall. I thought it was cool that there
Damn.
was the Bieber feature.
Yeah. Damn, a throwaway. Damn, bro, that's hectic. That's a little drastic of a call, but all right.
There's a few throwaway tracks on this album. Don't get too offended.
No, I mean I agree with you. Like I was like Piss on Your Grave and Nightcrawler are probably on my list, as well as this
Like
next one coming
oh
up.
my.
Oh My
Well,
This Side, yeah, is also a throwaway track, and Flying High, I think it's also a throwaway track. We can get into that, but
yeah,
Toro y Moi is on this, and I actually like
yeah.
him, but I don't think he's utilized well. Right? Like,
Uh, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
of
I don't
course,
really know
just
who Toro Imoy is.
uh,
So for me, like all I hear is a hook, and I'm like, okay,
right.
cool.
He's just a singer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, I wrote, what the fuck is this shit?
Right. Yeah. It's not that good. Right. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad we can
Yeah,
agree there. Yeah.
yeah.
Like even just
Pretty.
Travis starts rapping. He's like, "I be flying high. Can't you tell from my red eyes?" I'm instantly like, "All right, I'm already over this." Like, I don't know.
Well, that's actually I actually kind of like that because it goes straight into I took a trip from Paris down to Houston for your apple pie,
Yeah.
uh, which is
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
But also he took the red eye flight, right?
Oh, okay.
So I thought that was actually kind of clever.
Yeah, that is cool.
But it's just he's just talking about his hose he's got posted up around the world, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. Beat wasn't really anything to write home about either for me.
Yeah, definitely not. And I feel like the chorus just goes on for so long and it's the same thing, right? Like, I don't know. It's so
Yeah. Well,
repetitive.
oh. Yeah, I know all about that. We just talked about Maria. I'm drunk.
The verses really come through in that song though. There's more than one verse on that song. That's my
It's
argument.
true, but the hook is yeah. The hooks for both of these are just not.
Yeah. I mean, there's more rapping in a Maria
Yeah.
I'm drunk. Is what
Exactly. Yeah, it's at least balanced out a little better. But this song
Yeah.
is shorter.
It is. Yeah. It's also another throwaway track, not really like a high point.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you think about the next song?
I can tell.
Yeah, I actually like this song.
Hmm.
I like his singing on it. I think he does a good job. Like,
I thought the chorus was drawn out again, but I thought the chorus was definitely better than the last two.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the sound of it more. It sounds a lot like Kanye a little bit.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. I like the verses a lot. Really, like that's kind of what I was talking about when I was saying that I like the deep voice Travis, just kind of like rapping over a beat, like a trappy
Yeah, like
beat.
the non-auto tuned.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of like
Yeah,
what I
that's my
really like.
favorite Travis coming through as well as
Yeah,
a rapper. I
yeah.
think he needs to scratch the auto tune verse if he wants to win me over as a rapper.
It works. It works a lot of the times. I think though. I mean, I think it really depends on who's working on the production with him. But
Yeah, maybe.
I think it works a lot of the times. Like, yeah, I mean, I love the way he raps on this. His flow is so nice. Like, he's not necessarily just he's like sing rapping for some of it, but then he switches to just rapping and then switches back. I think it's very, very good. Like even just like his first line on it, right, where he goes, "I can tell by the night tails," right? He kind of like
Yeah.
stretches out that tails to kind of like make it last a little longer, so that the next little bit of the bar fits in for that whole bar, right? Because if he were to just say it, it's not going to fit the whole bar.
Yeah.
It's really cool the way he's doing it. Like I don't know, I love the verses on here. I'm not really big into the hooks on it, but yeah,
Yeah, the song kind of pushes more of the narrative you were talking about before too, of like letting the bird leave its nest,
yeah. How we
make
took
it on
off,
your
how
own.
we on top, how we won't fall, how we going up, how we came up. It all started in the basement. It wasn't attic, but we called that shit the basement. Like, yeah, he's
To
just
break all
talking.
my mama's bases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's interesting too. He talks about his uncle in this song and his name. So his name is Travis Scott, like his rapper name. Travis is his uncle, and Scott is actually from Scott Muscuddy, like Kid Cudi.
Okay.
Yeah, which is
Oh, that's a little cringe. I don't like that.
well, that's actually why they made that song together called The Scots.
I see.
Yeah, because they,
But
yeah,
he named himself after another rapper.
yeah, but yeah, he did. Yeah, it was his biggest influence. His two
I,
biggest influences, I
yeah, but
guess.
then his whole album talks about how he's making his own fucking way, and here he is just biting this dude's name.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? Is like if I never told you that, like it's not like his name is Scott Muscuddy. His name is Travis Scott. He just took the name
Yeah.
Scott. You know what I mean? The Scott could be anything, right?
Yeah, I liked it better when it was anything.
I shouldn't have given you the context, is what you're saying.
Alright, Travis Scott's ruined for me. That's it.
Back it up, boys. Like, you know what? This album's a one. We're done here.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love this song.
I think he raps pretty well in this song.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know how to explain it. Like everything about Travis Scott is like, yeah, it's fine, but nothing ever is ever like, oh my god, this guy is outstanding. Like I'm losing my mind over this. You know,
Yeah,
none of like I didn't
I
really
feel that
feel
way.
that too much, except for like I don't know. I didn't feel that too much for the whole album so far. Just like some of the hooks, I'm like, yeah, this shit bangs.
Right.
But you could get anyone else rapping, and it would like I'd still say it.
I definitely feel that way about a lot of verses on here, especially like I would even say it about verse 2 on here. By the time that he's like minus the
I
bad
thought verse
rep,
two was better.
verse 2, yeah.
I thought it was better than verse one.
Yeah, that's what I said. Like
Oh, okay. I thought you
like
said it was worse.
no, what I'm saying is like there's like a point in verse 2 like halfway through where I'm just like this is nuts. Like I love the flow that like the sound, everything. Like I'm just like going absolutely off to it. Like I love every second of it. Right? Where
Right.
he's like especially when he goes everything after he talks about Silk the Shocker at some point. Yeah.
Yeah, the back end of the verse is what actually kind of what got me going too. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, let's get it.
He really pops off on that.
Take it up
back
another
end.
notch here, another notch here. I pop a pill, pop a seal to forget about you. I'll bumbleclot you. Like
Yeah.
he's
And
like, yeah, I'll just end you and forget about it.
I
Like, damn, dude.
feel like if we were to have taken a tally throughout this whole thing about how many times he mentions pills, I think you would have been right. I think
About 80% of tracks.
yeah, I think about 80% of the songs talk about pills.
I told you. I was like, we'll see about that.
That's funny.
I know what I heard.
Oh man. Yeah, I really like that song. I think rapping wise, it's one of the better tracks on the album, and I think that's what I'm here to listen to, right? That's what I like about Travis. So,
Yeah.
yeah. You want to move on to Apple Pie?
Yeah, so this is supposed to be the end of the track, but we're doing the extended edition. Or sorry, end of the album.
Yeah, the end of the album, yeah.
And I think it's a great ender for the album, actually.
I actually agree with you. Like, you could even tell with like T.I. at the end, like kind of like
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Like, okay, this is the end of the story. You guys watched the movie. Like, again, it's like
Right.
Morgan Freeman, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which I think I love that. I love that about this album. It's like very reminiscent of Man on the Moon 1, where you have Kid Cudi kind of narrating the whole thing.
I was gonna say it's almost a little bit like Mad Villainy too.
Yeah, I think it's a lot more subtle in Mad Villainy, I would say.
Yeah, but it's like the same vibes where it's like this was the show, you know?
Yeah. Especially by the time that you get to the last track on that album, there's like the clapping and he's like coming out. Yeah. The song's okay. It's kind of like if you were to say, oh, Travis Scott like made a love song, I feel like I would probably show them this song, right? Like it's kind of like the most like lovey song on here.
This is a very bittersweet song, I think, right?
Yeah, I think the overall feel of it though, with like the production, the way he's singing and shit, like
Yes, I didn't really get the vibe of a love song so much as it was like I don't want your apple pie no more, mama. Like he's just saying like I'm a man now, mom. Like
yeah.
You know, I'm making my own legacy. I don't need to be sheltered by you anymore. I love you, but please.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's kind of how I interpreted it, and it's like, oh, it's bittersweet. Which is basically the theme of like what you were trying to say is the theme of the album too, right?
Right, that's a huge theme of the album. Is basically just coming of age and sort of like growing into your own skin.
Probably like this album so much. You were a strapping young lad when this album came out.
I was, dude. I was 15. That probably is why I like this album so much, man. Damn, this is this has turned into Sam's psychoanalyzing. Like, yeah, I did used to think I related to this album a lot, but when I listen to it now, that's not what I get from it. What I get from it is like total nostalgia and like feel like I said, like it's kind of like a time capsule for that period of time in my life where like Travis Scott was still
always going to be special to you. I guess
yeah, exactly.
Plenty of albums like that for me.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe the album's like actually a 4, and I'm just so nostalgic about it.
I don't know if you should take my opinion as always right. You know, you wrong, but.
No, I'm sticking to my 8.5. Yeah. Like what I was talking about before with what I like is Travis rapping. I get that so hard from verse 2. Where he goes, I come to get nominated from a spot that'll see Yo B blow up, and then it kind of like finishes that. He's doing like kind of like the faster rap. I love it. I don't know. What did you think about this song?
I thought it was a great ender.
Uh-huh.
I thought it wrapped up loose ends pretty well.
What do you mean by that?
Like the whole thing is like he seems like insecure a lot throughout the album.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this is just kind of him putting his foot down.
I like that. I like that interpretation of it. Yeah.
It's like I'm finally ready to be me.
Mm-hmm.
And then the outro from T.I. just kind of like leading into the next chapter of his life. Like, will he make it? Was it worth it? Did he win? Will he survive the rodeo?
Yeah. I love that ending too. I love when he's like, will he survive the rodeo? He has callbacks in this to his mixtape work, which I really like too, because I had listened to...
Like recycles like bars, like kind of half-assed?
No, he goes, made it out to the spot straight to Quintana, which was his actual like first big song. Like his first song that got any attention whatsoever. So what he's talking about there is like, like I know I had a little bit of fame with that song. And then he goes, and I'm still that N-word with diamonds on my blocka. Because on his first mixtape, he has a song called Diamonds on My Blocka.
I
Right?
see.
So he's basically saying, like, yeah, like I know I got famous on my last mixtape, but I'm still that guy from.
I'm still in there, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Right. So I just assumed Quintana was like someplace exotic or something.
Right. Well, it is a place in Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But, yeah, like, there's Quintana. That was his first, like, big song. He goes, I don't know. It's something about Color Quintana. I don't remember the lyrics exactly, but yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all right.
Yeah.
I guess it's one of the better songs on the album.
Mhm.
I don't think I would listen to it really that much, like at all.
Mhm.
But like in the context of the album, I think it does well, and that's what makes it somewhat like stronger.
Right. Yeah. I think it's a great kickoff as well, apart from just it being like really good rapping from Travis.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mhm.
Good for Travis.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just good, but we'll leave it at good for Travis. You want to do okay, all right, and then
Yeah, man.
move.
Yeah.
This is a good track, eh?
Yeah. The hook's like I kind of like the hook. I just like Schoolboy Q, man. Schoolboy Q is awesome. Everything he says just sounds thug. It's perfect.
The second half of the track is a lot better in my opinion.
Yeah,
With
I
like
like the first half better just because I like Q.
yeah, Q. I'm not saying Q is bad. Q, I like the whole song overall. What I'm like, I
Right.
really like the slower "All Right" into like Zeza singing like out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I like SZA's voice always.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
This one's an
Like
interesting.
sonically, it's not as good for me. It's a weird hard transition. Like this should just be two songs, right?
Yeah, I agree with you. And he's trying to do that thing. I honestly don't even remember when this started in rap, but he's like doing that like whole switch up in the middle of the song. It became so popular in the 2016, 2017 era where like everyone
It's
was
like
doing it. Where like you'd have like a two-part song. I'm trying to think of
isn't that
an
a big thing on like Kendrick's album?
yeah.
Blue Butterfly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of an example though, because there's like hold
Well,
on.
like on his other album, Good Kid, Bad City, like "Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst." It's just like a hard
Yeah,
transition.
exactly like that. Yeah, that's a great example. Um, trying to think of more. I used to know so many.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people like responded well to it, and then it's the same thing with every genre, right?
Mhm.
Like Korn with new metal came
Right.
out, and people were like, "Holy crap, what is this?" And then like you get like all these clones. You have like Limp Bizkit, which I guess also got really big,
Yeah,
and
Limp
like
Bizkit was huge.
DOA and stuff.
Yeah.
But they all came like off the backbone of like Korn doing that, or like another good example would be like Nirvana and like Soundgarden doing the grunge thing. And then
Hmm.
everyone was like trying to replicate that, but they couldn't really. So it's like the same idea in rap, right? Somebody did that, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds awesome. I'm gonna
Yeah,
do that in
yeah.
my albums." And then it's not the same magic.
Yeah, and then it just kind of took off. Yeah. I think Kendrick probably does it the best with "Sing About Me."
Yeah, Kendrick's just on another level, man.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Um,
So he
honestly,
talks more about like his like troubled home life here, right?
yeah. On okay, all right. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
in All Right, I guess,
Hmm.
in the second half.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot slower too. It's kind of got that darker feel, which I love. Yeah, and he's talking about Jacques and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, that's such a good verse.
Yeah, song's all right. I like the first half a lot more. I
Hmm.
just like Schoolboy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like I would say, I don't think the two bonus tracks are necessary. I'm be honest, dude. I just
They're not at all.
yeah, Like the first time that I listened to the album, the expanded edition wasn't even out yet. So I
Yeah.
just remember like when they added those 2 tracks, I was just like, all right, cool, more music. But the album was fine before. It wasn't like a huge addition, right? I feel like the
No,
high
but that's kind of
points.
the point of extended editions, right? It's
Hmm.
like these are the things that I could have put on the album and then I didn't. It's like this is
Yeah,
some shit I have. Take a
there's
listen.
I think there's a couple of examples that I could pull up where the extended edition adds like the best track. I'm trying to think, but like,
Back to Kendrick Lamar even.
yeah, doesn't he have
Like
that?
the recipe with Dre. That song's
Yeah,
insanely
that
good.
song is good. And then he also does the. I know this is a remix, so this doesn't really count, but he's got Jay-Z on the fucking "Don't Kill My Vibe" remix. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a track too, man. Oh, dude, I don't know. Like, I feel like when you're gonna make an extended edition like this, you gotta really go all out. Like, this didn't really go all out for me, right?
That's fair.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't really expect a lot out of bonus tracks usually.
Oh, I
That's
see. Okay.
just like, oh, cool, I got some more crap to listen to. Maybe it's good, maybe it's not.
Hmm. So, yeah, I mean, this is the one. The next one here, "Never Catch Me." What did you think about that?
I didn't really think much.
Very lackluster
Talking
in my
more about
opinion.
his home life.
Even
I
then,
don't
though,
know.
so here's what I would say is that
I thought it
even
was
though,
kind of cool for him to be like, look at me, I blew up. I'm never not gonna be on top again. You're not gonna catch me. You know?
yeah,
I thought that was kind of like like a fun way to say it.
it's a cool idea. I agree. I just don't think I think the delivery is so weak. Like I don't know. I think this is also like during the time of this was obviously recorded after he did all of Rodeo, right?
Uh, I don't know if that was obvious, but
I think it's so obvious to me. Like just the way it sounds, he just sounds so different than he does on the rest of the album. I don't know.
fair enough.
Yeah. Song actually it debuted on his live show. So it wasn't like a recorded song, but he just did it at a live show randomly one day and then he
I see.
recorded it. Yeah.
I like the first line. She took a she
Shot
take a
of
shot of Hennessy. I took a shot of Pimp C and slow up. I do
yeah.
this shit for him and me. I'm the next Lone Star to blow up.
Yeah, I
Because
like
Pimp C's
that.
from Houston, right?
Mhm.
As
Yeah.
well. And
Yeah.
then like he popularized lean. So like he's like
Pimp
she
C
takes Hennessy,
popularized.
like lean, promethazine.
Did he really?
Yeah. So
I
he's
thought
like
that
the
was a
first lean
rap.
rapper.
Are you sure about
Uh,
that?
I'm almost positive.
Damn, that's crazy. I
So when he
didn't know
says I
that.
take a shot of Pimp C, he's like I'm on that lean. She's on the liquor, right?
Right.
They
That is
said
cool.
and I take a shot of Pimp C and slow up, so like everything gets slowed down or
Uh-huh.
whatever. He's
Yeah, yeah, because you're
wow.
on lean. Yeah, I see that.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I shout out to Pimp C as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's cool. I think he mentions him a couple of times on this. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Well, he has a sample of him too in the one track too. So
Hmm.
yeah, everybody loves Pimp C, and I don't know any of his music.
I've never even heard, like, I know of him. I know that he exists. I've never bothered to sit down and listen, but
Yeah, it's just weird. Like is it like Wiz Khalifa, Juicy J, uh, ASAP,
hmm
Travis Scott? Like all these people are like, rest in peace, Pimp C. I love you, bro. And it's like, who the fuck is Pimp C? I've never heard any of his music. He's
yeah,
just
I've
like
never
somebody that
heard,
slipped
yeah.
under the radar. He's just never on the radio, I guess, right?
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, everyone always pays homage to him.
Yeah, yeah, I've noticed that too, actually. Well,
I don't really have much more to say about
yeah,
this song.
I mean, honestly, me neither. I feel like it's one of the weaker tracks on here. I think I actually agree with what you were saying earlier. With the first half of this album is a lot better than the second half, but
Yeah, way better.
I still think that there's a couple of songs you could pick off from the second half to uh that are still fantastic. And I also think that the album you can cut off like 2 or 3 tracks and it would be much more concise and a better project.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like the whole project as a whole wasn't really doing it for me anyway, so I can't really
Yeah.
say like, oh, take this or put
No,
that
yeah,
in.
yeah. I just mean for myself. If I were to like make a
Mhm.
perfect Travis album, I would probably take out some
Like,
songs.
I would cut the Kanye feature, although you really want a Kanye feature on your debut just to say you have it, right?
Yeah, it's just so upsetting that he just fucked. Oh man, I don't even want to talk about that song.
Like, for sure, you can cut Piss on Your Grave out of here.
Yeah, you could.
Piss on that fucking song.
It's so upsetting. God. Oh
And
man.
then, like, Flying High, I guess you could cut as well.
Yeah, you probably cut that out.
Everything else is, like, it's fine. It's all
Yeah,
fine.
I would say some of it's fantastic and some of it's meh. But
I'm
yeah.
saying it's all fine to be in the album.
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, any
I guess.
revisions of your score there, or are you sticking with your 4?
Oh, no, it's all four. I'm gonna if I could take a moment to revise my Pop Smoke. Uh, I'm gonna have to push that to like a 2.5 something. 'Cause
Okay, okay.
there's no way
Yeah,
that this song,
4.
this
Yeah.
album is a 4 and that album's a 4. Because
That's what I was. That's what I was gonna say.
undeniably better than that. But this song,
Yeah. Okay. I'll take it. That makes me happy.
I'd like to say that you've inspired me to listen to some Travis Scott features from recent years. I'd like to
Okay.
hear him doing hooks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all he does now. So.
Yeah, so I might look into that. Hopefully the rappers don't suck ass.
Yeah. 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 All right.
I don't know. Really, like trippy album overall. The production is just over the top.
Yeah.
It's just a lot. I think this album would be really good to listen to if you're like stoned or like you're feeling some type of way anyway. I
Hmm.
don't think it's really a drunk album or like an uppers album.
Definitely could be a drunk album.
That's fair. I guess it could be an uppers album too. Like I don't know. If you're on
Yeah,
like
it depends.
ecstasy or
If you're on,
something,
like,
this will probably hit you some type of way.
I feel like if you're on Adderall, there's no way. There's just too
That's
much going on.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for listening, guys.
Yeah, this is Two Dudes One Album, and we did Rodeo by Travis Scott.
Yeah. Have a good night, everyone.
Take care.